I have a marketing company where we are exploiting people's fears, desires, like biggest dreams, biggest concerns in their life to take action and buy whatever product or service our clients have. Because it works. Feeding off of human insecurities and desires gets sales. And if you have a great product, that sells and you make unfathomable amounts of money. And part of the best marketing tactics are presenting old ideas as a new mechanism. What I mean by that is all of these guys who have products are really just selling a few core things. They're selling sex, like lust. They're selling health and wellness. They're selling the better future through monetary freedom. And most of all the human desires really are just summed up into people wanting to feed away from their insecurities and move towards pleasure. And so finding a way to exploit that and figure out what pain point that audience has is how you force them into taking action, into buying whatever product or service you are selling. But in real life and in my business, there is nothing new. There's never a new mechanism that you can just feed off of. It is just hammering around at age-old business concepts. But people do not want to buy age-old business concepts where I now focus. We have doubled the business in the last 45 days, period. We are absolutely crushing it right now. And I have been working like a madman. It has been very hectic, incredibly stressful. Yesterday, I may have closed the biggest deal of my entire life. The day before that, I closed the biggest deal of my life to that point. And then the next day I closed a bigger deal, potentially like double the size too. Like we could literally be on track to be doing unfathomable amounts of revenue just next month. But at scale, and once we are really growing a business, the core principles are hiring people and cultivating company culture. Every single one of our clients that have multi-billion-dollar businesses or even 9-figure businesses where they're doing a few $100 million per year with 400 plus employees, every single one of those founders and CEOs, their biggest priority is the people that work in the business and maintaining company culture. Because when you let a parasite or a cancer in, it spreads like wildflower. But when you have an incredible group of people all fighting for the same mission, all understanding the company's culture, that's how you move the world. And you really only need a few hundred people to move the entirety of the world. And so then it's finding those people and cultivating the best possible work environment that fits your business. One person that I really admire in a lot of ways, his business does $500 million per year at 40% profit margins. He's one of our clients, and his company culture is based around safety because it's a very dangerous job that they have. And safety for making sure that they're always wearing their hard hats, making sure they're always doing every single thing, following it by the book. And so if someone is not being safe, that is going to kill off and make other people lazy. And the reason for safety is, one, you don't want anyone getting hurt. Two, their costs skyrocket if someone gets injured. And if they are caught not doing something by the book, that would really impact the bottom line. For us, our company culture is excellence and moving with speed, but always chasing a high degree of excellence. I don't care if someone works 2 hours per week or 100 hours per week. As long as we are getting results for the clients, that's it. That's the only thing that matters. And the people that make the most has no correlation to how hard they work or how much they work. It is, do they get results or don't they? And so it is that is the metric of success. The world does not care how hard someone works. It only care about the result that they get. That's the brutal truth of the world. And so that is the company culture, but it's also designed to be as fun as humanly possible. And everyone, like I work all day, every day. I want to be around people that enjoy working. I could not love what we do more. And I'm hyper obsessed with it. And when I'm not working, I'm listening to podcasts on our work because I think it is so fun and I want to get better and I want to be the best. And I want everyone on the team to feel that exact same way. And so that is our culture. And so we need to continuously find more of those people and cultivate the best possible work environment to where we can thrive. And that comes down to managing people, which is the hardest part of business. People are so hard because you don't know what they're thinking. Things go wrong in other people's lives. Sometimes it's a people issue for everything. So I'm trying to focus on client acquisition. That's what I want my main role to be. I would like to spend 50% of my time on acquiring clients for us, and probably the other 50% hiring and cultivating company culture. I mean, right now we're up to 25 full-time people, and I think within the next 2 months, we'll be up to 40 full-time people. And so we need to make sure that that culture is remained, and we're always performing at a very high standard of excellence. And every single person is always trying to get the best results for the clients at all times. Like, that is what matters at the end of the day. And it's really the business that we are trying to cultivate. It is perfecting the simplicity. And what I mean by that is, let's say we were running a paid ad. And so we have a marketing company doing the organic media. So anything you see on social media for 8-figure plus businesses. And we have a very high fee. We are about to be at, this week, we have potentially closed 7 full-time clients, which they are all committing to 6 months plus of working with us. We've never lost a client. We actually did cancel with a client because they were not performing to what we needed them to for a standard of excellence. I could get us another 10 clients next month if we can perform the highest quality service in the entire world to these clients. So it's making sure that we are always keeping track of the data and understanding what moves the needle the most. We need to get them views, and then we convert those views into customers for them. And if we can increase the revenue of these other businesses, they will keep on paying us forever, increasing price forever. Because if you have an increased return on investment for someone, they will keep on paying you for that. So that's what we need to be hyper obsessed about. And making sure we do the simple things at the highest level at all times. I haven't made a video in a few days because I've literally been working from 7 a.m. till at 10 p.m. every single day for the past a week and a half. I haven't had time. I don't even drive anymore. I've barely been able to go to the gym because I've literally just been sitting in front of my laptop and doing the work. There is no morning routine. There is nothing. It is just fucking sitting down and working from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. But that incredible dense amount of sprinting, I think, just doubled the business. There is 2 options for us 5 years from now. We are either have the ability to sell a multi-billion-dollar company, or we take the company public in a 4 to 5 year time horizon. That is where I want to sprint to as quickly as possible, while maintaining a standard of excellence. And the reason I say that is there is 200,000 mid-market businesses in the US, which that means they do over $10 million per year in revenue, under $1 billion per year. 200,000 businesses that fit that category. We are just looking to get to where we have 5% of that market cap. If we have 5% of the total businesses that fit our criteria, we would be a multi-billion-dollar company and we could go public, period. That is the math. And so now it's reverse engineering. Okay, so that means we need to get to 10,000 clients. Let's reverse engineer how we do that. We need to have a client acquisition method, maybe even a few of them, and I'll go over what those are in a very detailed Miro board, which is what we've built out. But in a very basic sense, we have systematically had a way of generating referrals to where every client we get brings us 3 more clients. After we give them their first big win, going through and getting a testimonial and then a referral from them, to where they are all big businesses have friends that also have big businesses. Your best clients will also be your best referrers if you do it methodically. And so we will also be running paid ads, which is pure math. If we spend $10,000 to get 1 client, we are still having a massive ROAS. because our LTV is hundreds of thousands of dollars per client. We want to push that to where every single client is millions of dollars in LTV per client. And that just means lifetime value. What is the value of a client over the lifetime span of what they spend? And so because we have such a high LTV, we can spend a lot of money to get a client. And I think that we could actually have a very good return on ad spend because of the unique marketing that we could do, because of the clients that we have, because how good of results that we've shown. And then when we know, all right, after 3 months of working with said client, on average, each client brings us 3 more clients. That means your actual return on ad spend is substantially lower from a cost to acquire, because you get one customer, which pays you $15,000 per month, but then 3 months later, they bring you 3 more customers. That's another $45,000 per month. So there's really a lot of aggregated costs that you could pull into it. But the biggest constraint for us is always going to be performing the standard of excellence, or we're not going to get referrals. We're not going to increase our lifetime value of our customers. Our clients would cancel. And so that's why it's always show them the best results in the entire world, to where we are making every single one of our clients hundreds of thousands of dollars per month for their business. And if we do that, nothing else matters. There's not a single other thing that matters if we do that for our clients. And so that's our biggest goal, and trying to have the smoothest process system for allowing us to do that. And if we can do that successfully, I can have my job be 50% hiring people, cultivating company culture, 50% acquiring customers. And that means I could focus a lot more time on building a brand to where we can start to acquire customers for ourselves, as well as running ads and having the best sales motion humanly possible. Because I can go out and get us a lot of sales. That is my specialty if we can service the clients. And so it's really this catch-22 where we take on a bunch of new clients, new constraint becomes operational. Then we fix the operational issues. We hire more people in place, then we go out and get more clients. But we need to speeding up that curve if we want to take on 10,000 customers in the next 3.5 years, which is exactly what we were going to do. And so then it's reverse engineering. Well, how many does that mean we have to take on per quarter and per year and per month? That means per week. That means how many clients do we need to take on per day on average to get to that goal a few years down the line? And then how do we get there without churning out of our current clients? And at scale, a lot of it just becomes a math. It just becomes looking at the numbers and being hypercritical of the performance of every single role, and then having the data as to know what works and what doesn't. And business actually does get easier the more you scale, because you have more data, because you have more money to fix your problems, the quicker they come up, and you can hire people to solve problems that were otherwise, when you're first starting out, you have to do on your own. So we are aggressively hiring, but methodically. I mean, this week I have had 7 calls with clients, and we closed all 7. And I've had probably a dozen calls with potential hires, which of those dozen, maybe we hire 2 or 3. So sometimes you have to kiss a bunch of frogs before you find the right person. And it's been just this has been a really good month. We were in Peru all summer, or we were in Medellin all summer, Colombia, then Peru, now back home visiting family in Massachusetts. And we are having a huge leap up in business. And so this has been a really good era. It's been like every single day has been truly mind-blowing. It doesn't even feel real. Like every single thing that I've worked so hard for over the past 4 years is finally starting to come to fruition. It just sometimes takes a 4-year period of time to build a super solid foundation, to learn all the things that you didn't realize you didn't know, and turn into a humongous conglomerate. I mean, now the numbers they seem unreal. They genuinely do. There's just no way that you could relate this to someone's normal life. It doesn't feel like it just is crazy. And I feel like we are at the smallest tip of where we're going to be, that it doesn't feel like a success at all. Like, in fact, this is the most urgency I've ever felt for wanting to push a substantially, like way more, way faster. So I have a call with the team right now, which is not what I like doing. I do not like having an hour-long call to go over KPIs, but you have to do that. You just have to. Another thing is how much goodwill really spreads. Yesterday, I took 2 meetings with 2 people that were never going to be clients, but just to help them as much as humanly possible. One is a fitness trainer, where I was breaking down a funnel that I think would make it to where they could grow their business from however much they're doing to $100,000 a month in a 6-month period of time by having a super great ad sequence and a good funnel to convert all that traffic onto a landing page, from that landing page to pay a few $100s to get a lot of micro commitments for his program, which is really, really good. And I have found a way to give a really good, unique mechanism to that, to then go onto an onboarding call to upsell them to the $5,000 product. But I think that sales motion, if he had really good creatives for the ads and he could really, really, really crush it, especially with just targeting people in our local area. And then another was with a restaurant owner who's just a friend of mine, where I was helping him with some stuff, but he also introduced me to 2 young kids that could be good hires. So goodwill really spreads like wildflower, because at the same time yesterday, there's a very high chance that we closed the biggest deal. Like, that seems like so ridiculously unreal. It would be insane. It would be insane. And I don't want to jinx it, so let me knock on wood. I'm the epicenter of jinxing things, and so I don't even want to talk about stuff until the contracts are signed and we are moving forward. So I hope everyone else is crushing it. And if you're not, just figure out why and then go crush it.